Hello again fellow gamers, and welcome back to another pitch-based video. In this installment, I'll be tuning into the fantastic and lovable lore that is Five Nights at Freddy's, and combining it with a magnificent Pokemon universe, by presenting new Pokemon based on the original animatronics from the first game. Before I get into it, I'd like to say that each of the Pokemon that I'll be presenting will be based on an already existing Pokemon. These Pokemon will not be composed of regional variants, but rather they are meant to be interpreted as synthetic counterparts. They will all be classified as animatronic Pokemon. With that all out of the way, let's jump right in. First up is a Pokemon based on Freddy freaking Fazbear himself. Meet Freddy Ursa, a synthetic version of Teddy Ursa. Freddy Ursa is a happy-go-lucky Pokemon who likes to run around and do nothing but play all day. It wears a bow tie and a top hat which are not a part of its actual body. It is a normal Steel type which as of now hasn't been portrayed in the Pokemon universe. It stands around the same height as Teddy Ursa, but heavier due to its body being made out of metal. Freddy Ursa was modeled after a Teddy Ursa, with the purpose of filling the role of being the mascot for the Pokemon universe's version of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. During the times of the restaurant, it would always be given the most attention as the star of the show. Though, as the years went by, this model became outdated, and production of more Freddy Ursas ceased, and the ones that already existed were let off into the wild. Although it was abandoned by many, it never lost its smile and is very friendly towards trainers who approach it. Freddy Ursa can be utilized in battle when necessary. It would have a base stat total of 330, making it as strong as Teddy Ursa. Finally, just like with the Galarian bird, I decided to give its shiny variant the colors of its original source, being Teddy Ursa. And with that, I hope you like this Pokemon based on Freddy Fazbear. Now, let's move on to the next one. Next up is a Pokemon based on Bonnie the Rabbit. Meet Banelbon, a synthetic version of Bunnelby. Unlike the original Bonnie, Banelbon has more of a mature personality. It acts intellectually and will often find ways to do things in the most organized manner. It wears a red bow tie, which is not a part of its actual body. Along with the Steel type, it inherits Diggersby's ground type, making it a great excavator. And it stands a bit shorter than Freddy Ursa, but would be taller if one were to account for its ears. Banelbon was modeled after Bunnelby, for the purpose of entertaining kids alongside Freddy Ursa within the pizzeria. While Freddy Ursa acted playfully, Banelbon's purpose was to educate children and aid them in academic endeavors. Now living in the wild, they find ways to cooperate with other Pokemon by acting as the brain of the bunch, making them useful for survival. It has a cautious behavior, and will often run away when approached by trainers, not wanting to find themselves in any trouble. Its base stat total will be around 250, making it slightly stronger than Bunnelby, but weaker than Freddy Ursa. Lastly, just like with Freddy Ursa, I decided to give the shiny variant the original colors of Bunnelby. And that is all I have to say about Banelbon. I hope that you all liked it. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Next up is a Pokemon based on Chica the Chicken. Meet Torchica, a synthetic version of Torchic. Torchica is a very shy and docile Pokemon. It is highly sensitive and will often try to avoid conflict at all costs. Like Chica, it wears a white bib that is not a part of its actual body. Unlike Torchic, it has a pair of wings, giving it the flying Steel type, and is the shortest of the animatronic Pokemon so far. Torchica was modeled after a Torchic. It was created to be loved by children. During the times of the restaurant, it would often be too shy to get on stage, but would find the courage to do so through the help of Freddy Ursa and Banelbon. It was created with the purpose of teaching children to act kind towards people. Though many trainers sought to adopt them after the original restaurants shut down, some can still be found in the wild. Torchica is a very shy and nervous Pokemon. It often relies on others to protect it, and hides from trainers when they see them. It has a base stat total of 220, making it the weakest of the animatronics. Just like with the other animatronics, Torchica's shiny variant would have the colors of Torchic. And that settles everything I have to say about Torchica. Now I personally think it's pretty cute, but that's just me. Anyway, on to the next one. Now this guy is not someone you'd like to mess with. Meet Nixie, a Pokemon based on Foxy the Pirate, and a synthetic version of Nickit. Nixie is a very aggressive Pokemon. Seriously, it doesn't take Sorry. What I meant to say is that it will often look to fight with other Pokemon to prove its worth. Like Foxy, it wears an eye patch that is not a part of its actual body. It has a hook for a tail which it uses to grapple onto objects. Due to its behavior, it is a fighting Steel type, and is slightly shorter than Freddy Ursa. Nixie was modeled after a Nickit. It is a pretty reclusive Pokemon who does not like to be disturbed. It was created to teach kids to stand up for themselves. Over time, this animatronic Pokemon became more and more aggressive towards strangers, forcing the owners to label them as going out of order during the times of the original restaurant. When they shut down production, this Pokemon sought to survive in the wild by finding means to get stronger. Nixie will attack anything that it considers a threat. It is recommended for trainers not to engage with them. This Pokemon will be very good for battles, having a base stat total of 350, making it the strongest animatronic Pokemon out of the bunch. Following the theme of the previous ones, Nixie Shiny would have the original colors of Nickit. Personally, this is my favorite design so far, but again, that's just me. Though, I hope that you all liked it as well. And with that about concludes every FNAF inspired Pokemon that I have to present for you all today. Wait, what? Did you all see that? What's going on? What's this? A wild golden Freddy appeared? That's so cool! Meet Golden, a synthetic version of Spinda. Golden is a very mysterious Pokemon that manifests from traumas related to the restaurant. Unlike the other animatronic Pokemon, it is actually a lifeless body that is said to be possessed by the spirit of a child, giving it the Ghost and Steel type. Being modeled after Spinda, it is about the same size, making it the biggest animatronic Pokemon. Other than its original source of fabrication, the origins of Golden are unknown. It appears as a hallucination when trainers are under heavy distress, with the purpose of scaring them off, though its motives of driving them away are actually to protect other Pokemon in the area. However, it will attack trainers if they refuse to leave. Sightings of this Pokemon would often be reported by night guards during the times of the restaurant, but they would often be dismissed. Golden has a base stat total of 300. Its main uses in battle would mostly be to inflict status effects. And finally, its shiny variant would have the colors of Spinda, making the original source of inspiration more apparent. Pretty freaky if you ask me, but I hope that you enjoyed this last Pokemon that I have to present today. And with that, we conclude this video, I think. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If this video does well, I'll be more than happy to make a sequel of more of the animatronics from the follow-up games. Also, please consider subscribing for more quality content. But anyway, with that, I'm off to catch up on my FNAF lore. Farewell good gamers, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.